Hello, welcome to part 2 of the magical micas and the Lindy Stem Gang mists. Right now I'm going to show you a little of the different ways that you can make your embellishments. I love one thing that you can do with your magical micas is stamp and then just use your micas raw on it. For that you need your Versamark ink pad, your acrylic block and a stamp. I'm obviously going to pick up a butterfly because I love them. I really don't know why, but I do. So you just place it onto your stamp. Use your Versamark ink pad, ink your stamp pretty well, and for this method I would recommend using a smooth cardstock. Please don't use any textured cardstock or any Brustro, Fabriano, because textured cardstock will not really give you the result that you are looking for. This gives you a really fabulous result. Here I am using an ivory cardstock. It's a very smooth cardstock and I really like it. So I'm just stamping it down pretty well so that I get a good impression. Now that I have this here, I'm going to take my magical mica, pick up my dry brush and pick up a little bit of the powder and just rub directly over the image, stamped image. Because Versamark is a sticky ink, your mica is going to stick to it, and I'll just show you in a second how gorgeous this image is. Okay. So now we're done with that. You just tap off your excess powder. When you're doing a big project, what you can do is tap off your powder onto your cardstock underneath it. Just dust off the excess. And then you can spray it and use this much of mica to get another background. Now once you've done this, take a stiff brush and just pounce on it, so that your micas stick very well to the Versamark. Now that I've done this, I'll just take this same brush and brush off any excess, and you have a gorgeous image. Now because this is not yet sprayed with water, this is going to be light. Micas are always activated with water, so the moment you spray this with water, you're going to get a different color. I'll just show you. I have this water brush with me. I'll show you a part of the wing. Of course I got a little bit of an extra edge of water. But once you spray, once it is activated and non-activated, you can see the color difference over here. Okay. Next, I'll show you how you can make your own sprays using your magical micas. I have a bit of warm water in this mister bottle. I have bulk of these, so I'm using this, but I would recommend using the Ranger misters. They are really good and they give you a very fine mist. This does not give me as fine of a mist as I would want it to. So I would say start off with a little bit less water and then add more as you want it. Right now I have about a 1/4 of the bottle of water, and take this. This is all I'm going to add into it. and then use my paintbrush to mix, and yeah, just mix it for a few seconds. And if you feel this is not that dark, or if you feel it's too diluted, you can go back in add a little more and a little more. You can always go back and add more. You cannot take out from it. So I'll just close this, close out my mica, and just give it a pretty good whack. And then let's just spray some flowers, shall we? I have these gorgeous blooms from Crafter's Corner. I really pretty ones. This is how they look when they come, and these are enough to last me for a pretty long time. So we have our micas ready, and let's go. See, now this is a little bit diluted than I would ideally like it, so I will go back, add some micas, and then spray them again for the second time. And you can go in with your heat gun and just slow dry them, or you can leave them to dry. So I'll leave these aside to dry for a while now. You can dye your ribbons. These are the organza ribbons that I started out with, and this one has been dyed with the bougainvillea fuchsia. Here it is. It's a very pretty. Let me just put a white cardstock so you can see the colors better. Here they are. This is your white. This is the bougainvillea fuchsia. This itty bitty one is the delphinium turquoise from the turquoise collection, Little Indies pack. And this is the same one, just a teeny bit of it. So you can coordinate your ribbons with it too. I have dyed it with bougainvillea fuchsia. I have the flower made exactly with this. The flowers are die cut from the Tim Holtz Tattered Florals. This is the dye, the Tattered Florals, and I've dyed it with the same color. The ribbon is with the same color, and all I need to do is just use this to gift wrap something, which would be very pretty. Now over here I've used these little white pollens, which essentially come as white. But being the glitter freak that I am, I tend to color them. I've just dipped them in glue and then into a bottle of glitter, and you can add these too. How do you dye your flowers? Let me go into that. Now I have this gorgeous white bloom, but if I want to match it with my project which has another color, simple. I'm taking the Tibetan poppy teal. Take a paintbrush, and I like to pick up from the cap as well, and then just go in and color. Every time you dip in, you make sure you're stirring as well. And all you have to do is just go in, make sure you pull these green petals back, or you'll end up coloring them too. little surface to mist on, and just go, because this is a diluted version, there. So what started out, and of course you can heat dry it, what started out as white is now this gorgeous poppy tail color, and it will match everything that you color with poppy tail. Now these are colored with the Tibetan poppy tail that we've been using so far. And I'll just show you how to make a little bit of flowers from these. All you need to do is, this is again cut from the Tattoo Florals. This is the size, the smaller size. Actually what I have done is I always keep a cheat sheet on my Tattooed Florals. So if I need to cut the biggest flower, I know I need a 3.5 by 3.5 flower if I'm cutting multiples of those. If I'm just needing one layer, one sheet is enough. So the second one you need 2.75, you need 1.25. I keep these cheat sheets, so when I know I want to cut 10 of these flowers, these are the smallest ones in the pack, I know I need 1.25 by 1.25 squares. Take a scissors, make a small snip, there, we've got 6 snips. Turn it around, and we're going to, all of them, I'm going to moisten them. So I have this water in my, really moisten them. Once they are moist, take a thick paintbrush, turn it around, hold your base. If you do not hold this, the petal is going to break. Just pinch, pinch, and let it be. Again the next petal, hold your base and pinch. The more you soak, the easier it will be to pinch. If you've not soaked it well, you won't be able to get this good, what do you call, wriggle. So once you have this, what I like to do is take my, this is my, what do I call this, painting tray, and dump. So once it is air drying in this way, it's going to have this shape, and it's going to dry in this shape. The same with this. For this I'm just going to use my tweezer, hold it in the center and just pinch upwards. I'll just leave this to air dry so that it gets a nice curly shape, and we'll get back to these. Meanwhile, I'll just show you the same with another flower. I have this colored with the Bougainvillea fuchsia. Now I'm just going to do a simple thing. I have this flower forming tool, and I'm just going to soften the paper so that it curls pretty well. Turn it around and press down. Once I have this form, I have already dried another layer. I'm just going to poke a little bit of a hole, and I'm going to show you my next favorite thing, the glitter pollen. They are wackily, crazily awesome. And I don't need so much of this, so probably... Please do not use your normal scissors to cut through wires. Your scissor will no longer work. And there you have. It's just a simple, pretty flower. You can ink these edges, you can add some more glitter to the edges. So let's talk about the Lindy Stamgang embossing powders now. Lindy Stamgang embossing powders are also two-toned like the sprays that you get. They are two-toned as such that they have two colors in them. This is the Madonna Raw Blue Gold. It has a blue embossing with gold highlights in it. And this is the Moon Glow, which has the Cosmic Pink Blue. So it has a pink embossing with blue highlights in it. Now it is difficult to see these highlights sometimes on a regular cardstock, but let me just show you some. Now here is the Cosmic Pink, Blue Pink and the Blue Gold. Now Blue Pink has a pink embossing and blue glitter, which I don't know if I'm able to show that well. And here is the Blue Gold. Gold you will be able to see very well. Now these colors you will see even better on darker cardstock. Here they are. Aren't they amazing? This is the Blue Pink. Now here the blue comes out really well rather than the pink, and here your gold comes out rather than the blue. So these embossing powders are two-tone, giving you completely different results into completely different cardstocks. So I'm sure you know how gorgeous these are. You can definitely check out Crafter's Corner, the website, and check out for all the two-toned embossing powders that we carry. And believe me, they are fun. You just have to emboss it regularly like you emboss your normal embossing powders. But the only thing is, because the glitter is very fine, after you pour your embossing powder, there will be a faint halo of glitter. Once you emboss, you can just use a normal cloth to wipe off the excess glitter around your image. Alright, so that covers your embossing powders, and let's just do a small recap of all the things that we did in this Lindy's instructional videos. So previously I showed you coloring these flowers, spraying with our mist that we made with our magicals, and here is what I've done with them. I've added a tiny little gemstone brad in this, and we have one embellishment ready. Then I have these flowers cut from tattered florals covered with poppy teal, and a small pearl brad completes another embellishment. The same way, I took another flower from tattered florals. This is covered in buccaneer bronze and poppy teal, and then I took a small flower out of this bunch. This is a really local cheap buy, and colored this, just the center part of it, removed the outer petals and added them onto this flower, and we have another embellishment. Then I have these flowers. This is the one I had previously made, cut with tattered florals, misted with the bougainvillea fuchsia, stamped with a script stamp with vintage photo. All the edges are inked with vintage photo, and there is pollen inside. Now this pollen is what you would get when you buy. these are how your pollens will come when you buy them. And as I said, you could color them, you could glitter them, you can do many things, or just use them as they are. Then here is the one that I showed you previously. Instead of these glitter pollens, I added a small brad, contrasting brad, and you have another embellishment. And this is what I wanted to show you. This is how your flower will look once it's colored. When you spray it, the petals are going to be really soggy, and the flower might open up. So whenever you're drying them, dry them upside down so that it keeps its shape. If you keep it this way, the flowers are going to fall open. So this started out as this. So you can see, you can custom color all your flowers, and you can have a ton of embellishments with these. So let me just show you how these flowers look like. Here is what you will get when you purchase these flowers from Crafters Corner. Then I also wanted to show you the flowers that I had colored in my previous video when I was coloring with magicals. These are the white ones, and you have the pink ones. Pink ones, if you just give a small edge of color, you have another beautiful flower ready to go on your projects. And these brads, they come from the Indie Chick collection from my mind's eye, and there are like amazing gemstones, pearls, you have pattern paper brads, and of course you have tiny little chipboard brads. So this is another thing you can pick up. And of course these flowers, they are awesome. They're really awesome. This is what it started out like. So I hope I've been able to clear out a little bit of your doubts with this video. And if you have any questions, any queries as to how to use a particular product, or if you're still stuck with something, please leave a comment and I will definitely get back to you. Happy crafting and happy misting.